Raging floodwaters clawed at everything. Everyone ran, but not 17-year-old Sarah Mattingly, missing a leg, clinging desperately to a tree branch with one arm. She held a stranger's tiny baby above the deadly surge, the churning brown water licking at her heels. How did a girl, already navigating life's challenges with such quiet tenacity, find herself in this impossible, life-or-death battle against the full fury of nature? And with the night closing in and her strength failing, could she possibly survive? This is the story of the one-legged teen who, when faced with unimaginable peril, risked it all, proving that true American heroism isn't about what you've lost, but what you're willing to give, a spirit forged in a heartland itself. Sarah Mattingly knew Havenwood, West Virginia, like the back of her hand. Nestled in a valley carved by time and the ancient, usually placid, River Callaway, it was a town of hard-working folks, where Friday night football drew crowds and Sunday mornings saw families in church pews. American flags waved from front porches, not just on holidays, but as a quiet statement of enduring pride. For Sarah, however, life's terrain had always been a little more uneven. The farm accident, a brutal encounter with machinery at age 10, had stolen her right leg below the knee. It hadn't stolen her spirit. Far from it. The early years were a blur of surgeries, therapy, and the frustrating process of trusting her prosthetic. She remembered the sting of tears when she fell, the burning frustration when simple tasks felt monumental. But her mother, Martha, a woman of quiet, resilient force, working as a diner waitress by day and cleaning offices by night, never let Sarah wallow. "You get back up, Sarah girl," she'd say, her voice gentle but firm. Every time. That's what Mattinglys do. That's what Americans do. And Sarah did. She learned to walk, then to run with a slight, distinctive gait. She learned to navigate stairs, uneven ground, and the curious, sometimes pitying, stares of strangers. Phantom pains, once a torment, had mostly subsided, replaced by the daily reality of her prosthetic. The careful ritual each morning, the occasional chafing, the knowledge some activities would always be harder. Sometimes she'd feel a twinge, a dull ache where her leg used to be, a ghostly echo. But she'd just shift her weight, breathe quietly, and carry on. She bore her burden not with complaint, but with a stoic acceptance belying her youth. Sarah found solace in quiet corners. She loved the hush of the Havenwood Public Library, where she worked part-time, shelving books and helping Mrs. Henderson, the kind, elderly librarian. The scent of old paper was a comfort. A gifted artist, her sketchpad filled with intricate drawings of the Appalachian foothills, weathered barns, the very River Callaway. Her art teacher, Mr. Davies, a retired Marine, often told her, "Sarah, you see things others miss. You see the strength in old wood, character in lines. Don't lose that." He saw in her a core of steel, a reflection of the discipline he knew. Her patriotism was quieter, woven into her being. In her mother's tireless work ethic, neighbors helping neighbors, her veteran grandfather's stories of duty and sacrifice. It was in her own refusal to be defeated. She dreamed of being a park ranger or an art therapist. Simple dreams, American dreams, rooted in service and self-reliance. Little did she or anyone in Havenwood suspect the ordinary courage she displayed daily was about to be tested in an extraordinary, terrifying crucible. The day began with oppressive stillness. Air thick, humid, sky of featureless gray. By late morning, a sinister, greenish tinge crept into clouds massing west. The weather radio, crackling in the library, upgraded the forecast from showers to severe thunderstorm watch. Then warning. Mrs. Henderson, brow furrowed, gathered old towels. "Looks like angry weather, dear," she'd said. "Old man Callaway can get riled up." The rain started as a patter, then escalated with frightening speed into a deafening, horizontal deluge, as if a dam in the sky had burst. Within minutes, gutters overflowed, water sheeting off roofs, gushing down streets, turning asphalt into a shallow, fast stream. Wind howled, rattling library windows. Then, The first siren wailed, long, mournful, slicing through the storm's roar. Joined by others, a chorus of disaster. Flash flood, the words, stark and terrifying, spread via frantic calls and alerts. Sarah and Mrs. Henderson, with a few patrons, tried sandbagging the library's entrance. A futile effort. Brown, debris-laden water seeped under the door, cold, invasive. "We need to go," Mrs. Henderson urged, voice tight with fear. "To the school. Highest point." Sarah nodded, heart pounding. Her prosthetic, usually familiar, felt heavy, a hindrance. She helped Mrs. Henderson, frail and unsteady, out the back, rain stinging their faces. The scene greeting them was pure, unadulterated chaos. Water, no longer seeping but rushing, was knee-deep in Lower Main Street. Cars stalled, lights eerily submerged. People, faces pale with panic, scrambled for higher ground, clutching children, pets, belongings. Shouts and screams were swallowed by the storm. The River Callaway, usually a gentle presence, transformed into a raging, muddy behemoth, its roar a terrifying bass note to the symphony of destruction. It devoured its banks, then surged into streets, a hungry, unstoppable force. As they struggled up the incline towards Miller's Hill, where the high school stood, Sarah's eyes were drawn to a horror near Milligan Bridge. The bridge itself, submerged, invisible beneath the churning torrent. A small sedan, caught in the dip before it, rapidly engulfed. Water swirled around its windows. Sarah saw a figure inside, frantically trying the driver's door. The door burst open. A young woman, terrified, stumbled into waist-deep, fast-moving current. In her arms, wrapped in a pink blanket, a baby. Sarah's breath caught. The woman, new to Havenwood, screamed for help, voice lost in the maelstrom. She took desperate steps, slipped, current yanking viciously. She regained footing, but was clearly losing. Other evacuees higher up yelled uselessly or stared, horrified, paralyzed. The water was a predator. A cold dread, sharper than any pain Sarah had known, lanced through her. The baby, so small, utterly defenseless. In that crystallizing moment, all thought of her own safety, her limitations, vanished, replaced by a surge of pure adrenaline, a primal instinct to protect. Daily battles with her prosthetic, quiet frustrations, stares, all faded against the stark reality of a life about to be extinguished. This wasn't choice. It was necessity, where courage was forged. "Mrs. Henderson, get to the school." Sarah yelled, voice cutting through wind. She helped the older woman further up the muddy slope, ensuring she was with others. "Don't worry about me. Go." Before Mrs. Henderson could protest, Sarah turned and, without hesitation, moved. Not towards safety, but back down, towards the ravenous floodwaters. "Sarah, no. What are you doing?" Mrs. Henderson cried, alarmed, but Sarah was gone. Focus absolute. She reached the turbulent water's edge, now a maelstrom of mud, branches, debris. She paused for less than a heartbeat. Her prosthetic leg, on solid ground, her partner. But in this violent, unpredictable current, a deadly anchor. It would snag, fill with water, drag her down. The calculation was swift, brutal, selfless. Leaning against a tilting sign, fingers numb but urgent, fumble with straps. Practiced efficiency. One strap, then another, pressure released. She pulled the limb free, the device that let her stand tall, walk, live normally, and toss it on the muddy bank, above the greedy water. It landed with a soft thud, a stark symbol, a fleeting wave of vulnerability, remembered instability, but no regret in her eyes, only burning incandescent resolve. Then, balancing on her one strong leg, she took a deep breath and launched herself into the flood. The shock of frigid water was a physical blow, stealing her breath. The current, far more powerful than imagined, seized her, a malevolent hand trying to suck her under, spin her. A living entity, a raging beast of mud and debris. Branches, sharp, toward her. Submerged metal gashed her good shin, searing pain. She gritted her teeth, ignoring it. Her arms, conditioned by years of compensation, became oars, anchors. She dug them into thick, resistant water, pulling, clawing forward. Her one leg kicked powerfully, seeking purchase on the slick, unseen riverbed, fighting for every inch. Water thick with silt and the detritus of lives. A toy, a gnome, shattered fences, swirled, trying to drag her downstream. The smell overwhelming, wet earth, decaying leaves, something chemical. A Herculean effort. Watered her chest, then shoulders, icy grip relentless. Sodden clothes like lead. Each movement an agony, a battle against immense pressure. But her gaze remained locked on the struggling mother and child. Her lighthouse. The mother saw her, a flicker of disbelief, then desperate, unbearable hope in her fear-stricken face. "Hang on!" Sarah screamed, voice raw, shredded, barely audible above the flood's roar. "I'm coming. Hold on to the baby." The young woman weakened, grip on the infant precarious. The baby, startled by a fresh surge, let out a high, thin wail that pierced Sarah's heart. That sound, so fragile, so full of terror, fueled Sarah with desperate energy. She pushed harder, muscles screaming, lungs burning. The world narrowed to this single, desperate purpose. Finally, after an eternity of brutal struggle, she reached them. The mother sobbed, body trembling, barely keeping her head above water, knuckles white on the car's door handle. "The baby!" Sarah gasped, chest heaving, extending arms. "Give me the baby!" Quickly, her voice, strained, carried undeniable command, cutting through the mother's panic. The young woman, eyes wide with terror and exhaustion, looked into Sarah's face, streaked with mud, rain plastering her hair, but her eyes burned with unwavering, fierce determination. With a choked sob, she thrust the bundled infant toward Sarah. Sarah's arms closed around the small, heavy weight. The baby, in a soaked pink blanket, was terrifyingly still, then cried. Cradling it high with her left arm, protecting its head, Sarah turned to the mother. "Grab onto me. We need to." But the flood, angered, unleashed new fury. A massive surge, carrying a submerged log like a telephone pole, slammed the car with a sickening crunch. The vehicle groaned, shifted violently, then, with a horrifying lurch, was torn free and swept away, tumbling into the deeper, faster channel. The mother screamed, pure animal terror, as her handhold vanished. She flailed, then, by luck or instinct, fingers found a low branch of sycamore near the bank. She clung on, coughing, sputtering, too far to help, her own survival precarious. Sarah was alone, with the baby, in the heart of the raging flood. The current, unimpeded, stronger, trying to tear her loose, ripped the bundle from her, water still rising fast. Where the car had been, a deep, swirling vortex, a brown, hungry mouth, her escape route cut off. Panic, cold and sharp, threatened. She felt the terrifying pull, the sheer, indifferent power. Her one leg trembled with exhaustion. But the baby, its small body pressed to hers, was a grounding force, a sacred responsibility dwarfing her fear. Its intermittent cries spurred her. She could not fail. Her eyes, wide and desperate, scanned the chaos. Debris swirled, upturned cans, posts, a small shed bobbing grotesquely. Then she saw it, 20 yards downstream, an ancient, gnarled oak, massive trunk half submerged, upper branches reaching defiantly. Their only hope, a fragile island. Reaching it, a monumental gamble, demanding every last shred of strength. The current around its base, treacherous, but staying meant certain death. "Okay, little one," she whispered, hoarse more to herself. "We're gonna make it. We have to." She adjusted her grip, pulling the blanket tighter, shielding its face. With renewed, desperate determination, born of courage she hadn't known, she fought toward the oak. A brutal, punishing odyssey. Her single leg, aching, struggled for purchase on the slippery, debris-strewn riverbed. Sometimes she sank to her knee in mud, almost losing balance, almost dropping the child. Her free right arm, a powerful oar, digging, pulling, while her left clutched the baby high. Debris struck with savage force. A floating tire to her shoulder made her cry out. Sharp it scraped her good leg. Fresh blood instantly washed away. The cold, a relentless, insidious enemy, seeping deep, a profound, numbing chill threatening strength, coordination, will. Teeth chattered, uncontrollably. Muscles burned. Vision blurred. The roar of water, a deafening thunder, punctuated by cracking trees upstream. Twice, the current nearly ripped the baby from her. Twice, she tightened her hold with a choked cry, a surge of maternal ferocity, giving momentary, superhuman strength. Energy waned, movement slower, labored. The tree seemed impossibly far. Doubt, cold as floodwater, whispered, "You can't do this. You're not strong enough. You'll die here. Fail this child." But then the baby, sensing despair, whimpered, nuzzling its cold face against her neck. Like an electric jolt. No, she would do this. Had to. This tiny, innocent life depended solely on her. She pushed onward, digging deeper than ever. Fueled by a motherlode of grit, breaths ragged, painful, heart hammered. Finally, after an eternity, her outstretched, trembling hand brushed rough, blessed bark. Relief, potent, almost painful, flooded her. She grasped it, fingers digging into wet wood. Current tugged, trying to pull her away, but she held on with a drowning sailor's tenacity. Slowly, painstakingly, using incredible upper body strength, she hauled herself and baby into the branches, out of the main current, found a relatively secure fork, a precarious cradle feet above swirling water. Collapsing against the trunk, she adjusted the baby, shielding it from rain and wind. Infant cold, face pale, lips tinged blue, cried intermittently, a weak, mewling sound. So she waited, clinging to the branch, left arm around the bundle, right hooked around a larger limb, single leg braced against the trunk. Floodwaters raged beneath, a terrifying, churning brown. Hours crawled. Rain lessened to a miserable drizzle, but never stopped. Cold, a gnawing companion, made her shiver uncontrollably. Muscles ached with deep, burning fatigue. Exposed leg throbbed. Phantom limb flared, a cruel ghost. She talked to the baby, soft, soothing words, anything to keep it calm, her own mind from despair. "It's okay, little one," she murmured, voice hoarse, trembling. "We're safe. Help will come. You're brave." Sang fragments of lullabies. Rockabye baby. The irony not lost. Thought of her mother, her worry, Mrs. Henderson, her discarded prosthetic, useless on the bank. Wondered if anyone knew, if help would come. Sky darkened from gray to bruised purple, then inky black. Light from distant beacons, occasional lightning illuminating devastation. Utterly, terrifyingly alone, fought dizziness, the pull of unconsciousness. Knew if she fainted, she'd drop the baby. That thought kept her awake. The American spirit, stripped bare, a teenage girl, physically compromised, battling exhaustion, hypothermia, nature's forces, driven by fierce, selfless will to protect an innocent, cold in agony, utterly alone, but did not let go. For herself and the tiny life, the image stark, lone girl, incomplete by some standards, yet embodying complete courage, clinging to a tree, baby held above deadly waters, a testament to the human heart. As grim night yielded to faint gray dawn and new sound, faint at first, cut through the receding flood's roar. Rhythmic, mechanical chugging. Sarah strained, heart leaping with fragile hope. Could it be? Louder, closer. Then she saw it. A small, flat-bottomed rescue boat. Searchlight cutting a hopeful sway through misty gloom. navigating treacherous waters. Rescue, after all these hours. Adrenaline, born of sheer relief, surged. Tried to wave, right arm stiff, numb. Managed a weak cry. Here, over here, help. The boat, manned by 2 in yellow slickers, volunteer firefighters, faces fatigued but determined, spotted them. Searchlight locked on. Maneuvering toward the oak, perilous. Current swirled. One rescuer, burly, older, kind blue eyes, shouted instructions. Closer. Sarah saw shock, then profound concern on their faces. Lone girl, pale, clothes shredded, one leg missing, still clinging, tiny bundle in her arms. Hang on, miss. Coming for you. Lead rescuer yelled, voice urgent, respectful. Hold on a little longer. Despite exhaustion, agonizing pain, dizziness, Sarah's focus remained. The baby. Take baby first, she rasped as boat nudged branches. Please, careful. The rescuer, Chief Miller, nodded, gaze lingering on her exposed leg, then meeting hers. No pity, only deep, unspoken admiration. Reach strong, gentle hands. Easy now, young lady. We've got him. You did good. Real good. Carefully, tenderly, Sarah relinquished her cargo. The moment baby was safe in Miller's arms, a tiny, inaudible sob escaped her. Relief, fatigue. Only then, acknowledge her own state. Firefighters worked quickly, efficiently. Her body stiff, uncooperative, barely strength to move. Miller's partner gently supported her into the boat, wrapped in a thick, dry blanket. Shivering violently, teeth chattering, but baby safe. That mattered. Boat pulled away from the tree, towards distant lights. Sarah closed her eyes, profound weariness. Faced the storm, triumphed. Journey back, a blur. Boat scraped muddy bank, crowd gathered. Willing hands lifted her, carried her towards warmth, light of high school gym shelter. Medics swarmed, concern and awe as her story circulated. Cutaway ruined clothes, assessed. Severely hypothermic, core temp low. Covered in cuts, bruises. Good leg gashed. Dehydrated, spent, but alive. And baby Noah, center of another flurry, wrapped in warm blankets. Paramedic listened to his chest. Silence. Then a broad smile. Cold, scared, hungry, he announced. But this little fella's a fighter. Going to be just fine. Collective sigh, almost a cheer. Then a cry, raw, hopeful. My baby. Noah, where's my baby? Emily, mother, clothes torn, face streaked. Rescued separately. Further downstream. Spotted infant, lunge forward. Sob and cheer. Reunion powerful, visceral, maternal love, relief. Cradled child kisses murmured love, body shaking. Tear-filled eyes found Sarah, propped on gym mats, for thermal blanket, sipping tea. Emily, clutching Noah, stumbled toward Sarah. Nell, you save him, choked out, tears streaming. Save my Noah, my boy. However, thank you. Trembling hand touched Sarah's arm. No words adequate. Sarah, unused to such emotion, managed a weak smile. He's okay, she whispered. That's all that matters. Others in gym, evacuees, rescuers, shell-shocked, fell silent, witnessing. Looked at Sarah, truly seeing her. Not just quiet girl, not girl with prosthetic. A hero, whisper spread. Story taking root, tale of courage, legend in Havenwood. Awe, admiration, deep pride filled the gym, pushing back despair. Sarah's act a beacon, humble, shrinking from attention. For her, not glory. Simple choice, act or let innocent perish. Chose to act. Relief on Emily's face, sleeping baby sigh. Her reward. Days, weeks followed. Floodwaters receded. Cleanup began. Sarah recovered. Body healed. Memory of cold. Raging water lingered. Havenwood began slow journey back. Spirit battered, unbroken. Americans resilient. Sarah, local celebrity, reluctant hero. Newspapers, governor mentioned her. People stopped her, new respect, to thank her. Overwhelming. Preferred quiet. Yet, something fundamental shifted. Self-consciousness faded, replaced by quiet, steady confidence. Understood her capabilities. Faced death, found strength. Prosthetic leg, now linked to resilience, sacrifice. Testament not to limitation, but boundless spirit. Emily and Noah, fixtures. Gratitude a constant, bond forged in storm. Emily sat with Sarah, talking, friendship blossoming. Noah, unaware, gurgled, smiled at girl who saved him. Havenwood learned, heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes quiet ones, unassuming, carrying burdens with dignity. Sarah's courage, sacrifice for stranger, resonated. True measure not physical completeness, but heart's capacity, will's strength. Her story, Havenwood's fabric, testament to American spirit, resilience, community, looking out for one another, quiet heroism in everyday Americans, waiting to ignite. Sarah Mattingly, quiet, artistic, one-legged teen, hadn't sought heroism, saw need, answered, risking all for tiny life, showed true meaning of bravery, proved courage is an absence of fear, but decision to act despite it. In that raging flood, her indomitable spirit soared, a bright, unbreakable, profoundly American light.